If you've made it to 70, you've already done something incredible, lived through more change, grit, and growth than most can imagine. But let's get real. Are you still truly living or just coasting by? I've met folks in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who feel weighed down, not by age, but by old baggage like regrets, clutter, or toxic ties they can't shake. Here's the truth, it's not too late to let go. Today, we're tackling the 8 things you need to ditch to feel light, joyful, and free again. Ready to kick this next chapter into gear? Let's dive in. 1. Let go of the belief that you have nothing left to learn. Picture this. You're at the kitchen table, coffee in hand, and someone mutters, "At my age, I've seen it all." Sound familiar? Maybe you've let it slip out yourself. It's a sneaky trap after 70, thinking there's nothing left to learn. No new tricks, no surprises, just a slow coast into the sunset. But here's the catch. That idea isn't just a casual shrug. It's a weight pulling you under. Stop learning and your world doesn't pause. It shrinks. Talks turn into grumbles about rain. That old spark, it fades into TV reruns and the same old chair. Life gets predictable, a little empty. Flip that script. You can grab something today that shakes you awake. Not dusty textbooks or lecture halls, real gut-level learning. Picture this. You finally crack how to video call your grandkids, their goofy smiles popping up on your phone, or after 30 years hauling a grudge like a sack of bricks, you learn to drop it and feel the air hit your lungs again. Maybe it's stirring a pot of chili that warms you through, or sitting still for 5 minutes to try meditation. Something you swore was not your thing until it stuck. I met an 82-year-old once, hunched over a guitar, fumbling the strings. His hands shook, but his eyes lit up when he hit that first wobbly chord. Then there's Mary, 76, tackling Spanish, not for travel, just to keep her brain buzzing. She laughs now when she nails a phrase, like a kid with a gold star. These aren't the richest or fittest folks I know. They're the ones who stay curious, who see a bird, a gadget, a stranger's tale, and think, tell me more. You don't need to know it all. You just need to believe there's more out there worth chasing. So chuck that worn-out line, "I've learned enough," right out the door. Swap it for something lighter. "I'm still growing. I've got more to find." Whisper it to yourself if you want, because that's the trick to feeling young. Not in your joints, but in your soul. It's out there, waiting. 2. Let go of toxic relationships, even if they're family. Nobody tells you this when you're young. Past 70, your time turns into pure gold. Every hour, every conversation, it's precious. And who you share it with, that's everything. But here's the gut punch. Some of the heaviest, most soul-draining ties aren't with random jerks off the street. They're with people you've known forever, people you love, people with your last name. A sister who jabs at your soft spots like it's her job, a kid who only dials when their wallet's empty, a buddy who vanishes when you're down but pops up grinning when you're up. Maybe even a spouse who's been a ghost in your home for years. You've probably thought, "I can't walk away after all this time." Or the big one, their family. "I'm stuck with them." Sound familiar? Now stop and think. How many more days are you going to waste feeling small just to dodge a fight? How many mornings will you drag yourself out of bed, already worn out, knowing you've got to face someone who leaves you invisible or unloved? Blood doesn't buy them a free pass to your peace. At this point, your energy's too valuable, your calm too hard-earned. You deserve people who see you, really see you, who respect your limits and cheer for the real you, not some version they've cooked up in their heads. Letting go doesn't mean you hate them. It means you've finally decided you're worth more than their baggage. You can love them from across town, forgive them without unlocking the door. Choose quiet over duty. And here's the kicker. The ones who truly get you won't guilt trip you for it. They'll nod and say, "Good for you." I knew a woman, 74, who stopped answering her son's calls after decades of him only showing up for cash. She told me, "I cried at first, but now I sleep better." Another guy, 80, ditched a lifelong pal who thrived on cutting him down. He said, "I feel 20 pounds lighter." So who's dimming your light? Who leaves you hollow instead of whole? Are you ready to cut the cord? You don't owe anybody your joy, not your time, not your spirit, especially if all they do is bleed it dry. Your peace is yours to guard. Take it back. 3. Let go of the clutter, both in your home and in your heart. Take a quick peek around your place, shelves sagging, drawers stuffed, corners collecting dust. What do you see? A closet jammed with jeans from 20 years ago, too tight to even dream about now. Stacks of yellowed magazines, unopened bills, little trinkets that once sparked a smile but now just sit there silent. It's not just stuff piling up, it's more than that. Clutter isn't only what you can touch. It's the knot in your chest when you step into a room and feel buried alive. It's the quiet stress humming in your head, even if you can't pin it down. It's that sting from a fight you never patched up, or a grudge so old it's practically family. Over time, all this junk, on your shelves and in your soul, starts choking you. It muddies your thoughts, steals your calm, drowns out the quiet you're aching for. You shuffle through a house full of just in case and a heart full of what if, and suddenly there's no room left to just be. But here's the good part. You don't have to stay stuck under it. You don't need that sweater you last wore in '98. You don't need to lug around pain just because it's been riding shotgun for decades. Start easy. Crack open one drawer and toss what's dead weight. Dig out one memory and let it loose. Maybe it's finally saying, "I'm done" to that old wound, or whispering, "I forgive you" into the air, even if they'll never hear it. I knew a guy, 78, who cleared out his garage after 40 years of hoarding tools he'd never use. He said, "I found my workbench and my patience again." Then there's Ellen, 71, who shredded letters from a sister who'd hurt her deep. She told me, burning them felt like breathing. Clearing the clutter isn't about erasing the past. It's about making space for now. Donate the coat, drop the guilt, free your heart from what's gone stale. Because when you peel back the layers, outside and in, you'll feel the air rush back. And that first deep breath, it's not just relief, it's the start of living lighter, clearer, truer. You've earned that. 4th, let go of the fear of aging. Aging gets a bad rap. From that first gray hair or the creak in your knees climbing out of bed, the world starts hissing, "You're old, brace yourself." TV ads hammer it home. Slather on this cream, pop that pill, fight the wrinkles like they're the enemy. Youth gets crowned king, beauty, power, the whole deal. While aging, it's painted as a slide into the ditch. But what if we've been fed a load of nonsense? What if aging isn't a tumble downhill but a climb into something bigger? What if it's when you finally step into the truest you? Here's the secret nobody's shouting. Getting older doesn't shrink you, it grows you. You get realer, shedding the masks you wore at 40. You settle into your skin, not fussing over every flaw. You figure out what's gold and what's garbage. Peace trumps hustle. A good talk beats a pointless race. Those lines on your face, they're not cracks, they're medals. Every crinkle around your eyes screams you've laughed, loved, lived through the rough stuff. Every birthday's a trophy. You're still here, still kicking. You don't need to claw back 30. Why chase a ghost when you've got 70 years of stories etched into your bones? You're not fading out. You're opening up, like a book hitting its best chapter. Slowing down? Nah, you're just steady enough to spot what counts. I met a woman, 79, who told me, "I used to dread mirrors. Now I see a fighter staring back." Another guy, 73, said, "I'm not running marathons anymore, but I'm freer than I was at 25. They ditched the fear and found something youth can't touch, liberty. Letting go of that dread unlocks the good stuff. You quit primping for applause. You stop pining for who you were. You grab who you are right now and say, "Yeah, I like this guy." Next time you catch your reflection and feel a pang for the old days, hold up, look closer. That's not loss. That's grit. That's a life still burning bright, with plenty left to pour out. Aging's not a thief sneaking up on you. It's a gift handing you the reins. Drop the fear. You're not just getting older, you're getting bolder, and that's worth celebrating. Let go of the expectation that others will make you happy. Ever caught yourself muttering, "I'd smile more if my kids dropped by, if my spouse hugged me tighter, if my old pals still rang me up"? You're not the only one. It's a silent sting that sneaks up later in life. This idea that someone's going to swoop in and patch the holes. You hope they'll spot your quiet days, thank you for all you've given, or just get you without a word. It's human to wish for that. But here's the straight-up truth, and the one that sets you free. Happiness isn't a package someone drops on your doorstep. It's a house you build brick by brick with your own hands. The happiest folks I've met, well into their 70s, 80s, even 90s, didn't sit around waiting for a rescue. They got moving. They found what lit them up and chased it. Take this guy I talked to, 79, who used to slump by the phone every Sunday praying his kids would call. When they didn't, he'd stew in it, hurt, mad, the works. Then one day he said, "Enough." He grabbed a paintbrush and joined a watercolor class, splashing colors like a kid again. Started hitting the same coffee joint daily, trading names and laughs with the barista. "It's like I'm courting life now," he told me, grinning. Here's the gem he unearthed, and I'm passing it to you. Your joy's on you. That's not a chore, it's power. When you stop banking on others to spark your days, you're not helpless anymore. You're not a pinball bouncing off everyone else's moves. You start carving out your own little wins. Joy hides in the small stuff. A morning ritual with your tea just right, a new trick you pick up, a kind word you toss to a stranger who wasn't expecting it. You'll crack up at your own old tales, and that's plenty. So drop that dream of someone riding in to fix you up. You don't need a savior. You're not broken. You've got the green light to grab happiness over and over, no matter how many candles are on the cake. Once that clicks, you won't waste another minute waiting for the world to hand you what you can whip up yourself. And trust me, you've got the recipe. Sixth, let go of comparing yourself to younger people. It creeps up soft, doesn't it? You're strolling by the park and there's some kid jogging, legs pumping like they've got a motor. Or you're flipping through pictures, grandkids in caps and gowns jetting off to Paris, tying the knot, and your mind drifts. You feel it. That old you. The one who hauled groceries up 3 flights without blinking, who juggled a packed schedule, who could name every state capital in a snap. Then the whispers start. I was that fast once. Wish I still had that zip. If I could just turn back the clock. Sound familiar? Here's the deal. You're not meant to be that 30-year-old anymore. That chapter had its shine, sure, but it's not the whole book. You've grown bigger than that. You've stacked up years of grit, tears, and hard-won smarts no hotshot 20-something can touch. They're still fumbling to find themselves. You've already mapped the terrain. They're scrambling for likes and nods. You've kicked that game to the curb. They're sprinting circles. You've learned to pause and soak in the view. Yeah, your knees might groan now and your memory might play hide and seek. But your soul? It's a deep well. Your wisdom's gold. Your quiet strength could stop a room cold. Quit eyeing youth like it's a prize you dropped. Age isn't a fumble. It's a canvas you've painted, stroke by stroke. I met a guy, 77, who used to watch joggers and sigh. That was me. One day, he stopped, started swapping stories with the park bench crew instead. Now they call him the mayor. Then there's Ruth, 81, who shrugs at her grandkids' Instagram globetrotting. I've seen my world, she says, and I've got tales they'll never top. They don't race the young. They outshine them just by standing firm. You're not here to match their pace. You're here to show them depth, to steer them straight, to prove life's not about speed, it's about weight, the kind you carry in your bones. Drop the comparison. You're not lagging. You're right on time, tougher and sharper than ever. That's not behind. That's ahead in all the ways that count. 7. Let go of regret. We've all got them. Those ghosts that rattle around in the back of our heads. That time you bit your tongue when you should have spoken up. or let loose words that still burn to think about. The job you didn't take, the trip you skipped, the friendship you let slip through your fingers like sand. Regret's a beast. It's heavier than hurt or rage because it nags at you with what-ifs and if-onlys. And the older you get, the louder it gets, doesn't it? You start thinking the clock's run out, that you're stuck staring at a pile of should-haves with no way to shovel it off. But here's something to hold on to today. Regret's not a life sentence. It's a nudge. It's not there to kick you while you're down. It's there to point you forward if you'll listen. You can't hop in a time machine and tweak the script, but you can decide how the next scene plays out. Here's the real kicker. You don't have to fix yesterday to feel good today. You just have to quit letting it rob you blind right now. I knew a woman 75 who'd replay a fight with her daughter from 20 years back. Every harsh word, every slammed door. One day, she stopped. "I can't undo it," she said, "but I can call her now." She did. They cried. It wasn't perfect, but it was lighter. Forgive that younger you who fumbled, who didn't see the curveball coming. Forgive the ones who cut you deep because they were bleeding too. Forgive. Even if sorry never lands on your doorstep, even if the story didn't tie up neat. Why? Because what's still ahead beats what's in the rear view every time. Every second you spend chewing on old aches is one less second you've got to laugh, to breathe, to feel the sun hit your face. I met a guy, 83, who let go of a missed chance to move west decades ago. "I stayed put," he said, "but now I'm planting flowers instead of grudges." His yard's a riot of color now. Drop regret, not because it didn't sting, not because it didn't count, but because you count more. There's no cutoff for starting fresh. You've still got time to walk through your days with a heart that doesn't drag. That's yours to claim. 8. Let go of the belief that it's too late. There's a lie that sneaks in and settles deep. It's too late for me. Too late to hit reset. Too late to try that thing you've always wondered about. Too late to shift how you live, laugh, or mend what's broken. It's a quiet thief convincing you your shot's come and gone. But hold on. Are you breathing right now? Feel that thump in your chest? That's proof you're still in the game. As long as you're waking up, life's tossing you a fresh invite to start over. No expiration date attached. Folks fall head over heels at 72. They crack open textbooks at 78. They shuffle into dance halls at 80, grinning through the stumbles. They scribble their first novel at 85, or sling open a little shop at 90, not for cash, but for the kick of it. I met a gal, 76, who picked up a paintbrush after decades of maybe someday. Her kitchen's a gallery now, messy, bright, hers. Then there's Tom, 88, who started growing tomatoes. "Never gardened a day," he said, "but I've got dirt under my nails and a smile on my face." What sets them apart? Not stamina or deep pockets. It's simpler. They believe there's still something worth grabbing. You don't need a grand overhaul. Maybe it's nodding yes when your gut's stuck on no. Dialing that number you've dodged for years to say, let's bury this. Picking up a harmonica, a sketch pad, or just walking an extra block to feel the breeze. Maybe it's sitting quiet at dawn, whispering, I'm here, and that's enough. The ones who pull off wild stuff late in life, they're not superheroes. They just quit letting fear call the shots. I saw it in a woman, 82, who joined a choir. Shaky voice, steady heart. Thought I'd missed my chance. She laughed. Turns out I was wrong. You don't need more years. You need more faith. Ditch the tale that your peak's in the past. It's not. It's now, pulsing under your skin. This next stretch might not be about chasing fireworks. Maybe it's about sinking into who you've been shaping up to be all along. It's never too late to patch things up. Never too late to stretch taller. Never too late to live big and love hard. You're not done. You're just getting started. So there you have it. 8 things to drop. Not because they didn't matter, not because they didn't carve you into who you are, but because they've run their course. They've hauled you this far, and now it's time to set them free. You've lugged so much for so long, haven't you? That ache you've buried deep, the dreams you shoved to the back shelf, the masks you wore to keep the peace, letting the real you fade into the shadows. But listen close, because this is for you. It's not over. Not by a long shot. You've still got fire in you. It's not too late to lighten the load, to dig up that old joy you thought was lost, to scratch out a fresh page that's yours, quieter, bolder, truer. This isn't about proving a point or putting on a show. It's about being raw, real, unfiltered you. Strip away what's dead weight. Clear the deck for what sparks you awake. Life after 70? It's not a curtain call. It's a wide open door to live loud, with no more pretending and all the good stuff still up for grabs. If this hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Pass it on. Text it to a friend. Call that cousin who's been stuck too long. Tell them their clock's still ticking. Then drop us a line below. What's your let go today? Say it out loud. Type it. Shout it. Because that's where the shift kicks in. You name it, you claim it, and the weight starts melting off. We're in this together, and your story? It's the fuel that keeps this fire burning. Stick with us. This isn't the end. It's the launch pad. Hit that follow button because we've got more coming. More ways to shake loose, step up, and live like you mean it. You're not just watching. You're part of this. Let's keep it rolling because your best days, they're not behind you. They're right here, waiting for you to grab them.